So, good evening, guys. Okomo here. There has been this circulating video of the dust in Homa Bay. Actually, we are actually making fun of it. That's the reason why it's called Homa Bay, because that dust causes a lot of Homa. But then, this is the reality. We used to say that there is very few, if not no development at all in Luoland. I mean, as compared to these other areas, some of us who have been in maybe central Kenya and these other areas of the country, we can say it with a lot of confidence that there is almost nothing going on in Luoland. It is very unfortunate. But then, after yesterday, there was this notion or narrative that Luoland has been marginalized, and I saw that from a post by the MP for Suba South, that is Millie Odhiambo, where this dust was all over. And then I also heard of a presser by Governor Gladys Wanga, and both of them are complaining about this word marginalization, that you are mocking us, but we've been marginalized, blah blah blah, all that, the theatrics that they usually use. But for me and my family, mi nasema there is nothing like marginalization in Luoland. Unge hakuna, bro, there is nothing like that. We have to call it a spade, not a small spoon. Call it the way it is. We will not sugarcoat this, and we've said this before. Some of us tumesema hizi vitu before. But the reality is that we've had bad leadership, bad leaders. Because tell me why, even if we had that marginalization, quote unquote, after we had devolution, what has any governor in Luoland done with the money that is allocated to the counties from the national government? I mean, the shareable revenue. What have they done with it? Because we've seen what others have done. At least we've seen what a few governors in other counties have done. I can't say all of them, but we've seen somebody like Irungu Kangata here. We saw the previous governor Alfred Mutua when he was in Machakos. He did so well. We saw Oparanya in Pale Kaj. We've seen this chair of the COG. Okay, he's really done well Pale Garissa. I mean, there are so many governors who have done some things that you can recommend, but when you go back to the other side, ni mdomo. Marginalization. Okay, I want to read for you. Marginalization in English dictionary, not as per my own definition. This is English dictionary. Marginalization is the process of pushing certain people or groups to the edge of the society, pushing them to the edge of the society, making them feel unimportant, and leaving them with very little power. So you push them to the edge of the society, then you leave them with very little power. The word here is power, because this power, Uburu who anasema wanataka power, it is the power that brings everything, because power is the sharing of resources. When you have power, you can dictate how resources are being shared. That's why people always struggle for the presidency, the national cake. Upon you, the table, where the kitchen, where everything is being cooked. But then there's something interesting here that I want to highlight, because we are trying to say we've never had power. Sindio? And just to say, marginalization can be economic, political, or social. That is not the really important thing that I want to say, but I want to say this. In 1963 to 1978, the Jomo Kenyatta administration, Jaramogi was the vice president, second in command. Okay? Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was the vice president. Tom Mboya, 1964 to 1969, was the minister for economic planning and development. Tom actually comes from Rusinga, hapo penye mambo iliharibika jana. Achieng' Oneko, minister for information and broadcasting and tourism. What did he do to that? Because we always say that all the media houses are owned by the people of the mountain, blah blah blah, nini nini. Yet the first minister for information, broadcasting and tourism was a Luo, Achieng' Oneko. Okay. There is someone called Samuel Ayodo. He was minister for local government and later tourism and wildlife. There was somebody called Agwins Kodek. Agwins Kodek was the minister for natural resources. Things like mining and hizi vitu zenye Joho sahi amesimamia. Did he exploit any minerals in Luoland? Kiawa. There was somebody called, and by the way, Kodek later became Minister for Foreign Affairs as an assistant. Then there is Odero Joey. Odero Joey was Minister for Economic Planning and Development. I think this is later on, after Tom. I think probably after Tom died. So in Jomo's government, we had 5 ministers and 1 vice president. We are marginalized. Okay, we are marginalized. Marginalization. 1978 to 2002, 24 years of leadership of Daniel Torotich Arap Moi. Dr. Robert Ouko Seda. Ouko was the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. He was also Minister for Planning and National Development and Minister for Labor at the same time. That is Robert Ouko. Peter Olo Aringo, Minister for Education and Minister for Labor. How many schools were built during that time? Wilson Ndolo, Minister for Foreign Affairs, then went back to Information and Broadcasting, pale kwa Achieng' Oneko. Dalmas Otieno, Rongo. Dalmas was a son of Rongo, still there. No, they died just before Baba. Dalmas was Minister for Industrial Development and Minister for Transport and Communication. Roads were built, donge? Okay. Industrial development, industries were built, donge? John Henry Okwanyo, Minister for Energy and Commerce. Matthews Ogutu, Minister for Cooperative Development, pale penye para nyako saizi, Tourism and Wildlife. William Odongo Omamo, Minister for Natural Resources and Minister for Environment and Natural Resources. So in Moi's government, throughout that regime time here, Moi Odongo, how many ministers did we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are marginalized. We are pushed to the edge of the society and we don't have power. Tunaendelea vizuri. 202 to 2013. Mwai Kibaki's regime. Raila Amolo Odinga, Prime Minister. Prime angawa? Prime Minister and Minister for Roads, Public Works and Housing. Okay, you know Kibaki did 2 terms. So in the first term he was Minister for Roads. That's the time when we claim Thika Superhighway was built, blah blah blah. So Baba was Minister for Roads. Then the second government he was the Prime Minister. So during roads and those things, I don't know how many roads were built. Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Minister for Planning and National Development, then later Minister for Medical Services. The hospitals that were built sijui ni ngapi. James Agdi Bogorengo, Minister for Lands. Luos tuko na title deeds. Donge wangi title deeds. Gerald Otieno Kajwang', Minister for Immigration and Registration of Persons. Si watu walichukua IDs. IDs ilikuja karibu na home, si ndio? Raphael Tuju, Minister for Information and Communication, and then Minister for Tourism later on. Ochilo Pindra Ayako, Minister for Sports, Culture and Heritage, then Minister for Energy. Pale penye Wandai yako saizi. Stima zilisambaa huko Siaya, Migori, Yomabei. Dalmas Otieno, again Minister for Public Service. Do you guys know Minister for Public Service? Huyo ndio mtu tunaita mwenye kalamu. Yeye ndio mwenye kalamu. Yeye ndiye anakuandika na kufuta. So Dalmas. So in Mwai Kibaki's regime, we had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are marginalized. Donge. Uhuru Kenyatta 2013 to 2022. We had very few. We had Rachel Omamo, who was the Cabinet Secretary for Defense between 2013 and 2020, then Foreign Affairs in 2020 to 2022. Then we had Professor Jojo Morema Goha, who was Minister for Education between 2019 to 2022. Also, in the same Uhuru government, that is where we had Eliud Owalo. Eliud Owalo was in IT or ICT. Okay. Let me just confirm something for you. If there is anybody I've left out in Uhuru's government. Yeah, that is it. So we are done with Uhuru's government. Then come to Ruto's government, where there is Opiyo Wandayi, that is in energy, and the guy has done nothing. You are nothing. Then we have John Badi. We are still marginalized. In fact, uko ni kwa Usuba. Then we have who else is there eating the government like nobody? Anyway, historically, we've had so many cabinet ministers from Luoland. So I'm just trying to say, Luos must now stop this idea of marginalization. We must now debunk our mind from history of marginalization. Let our leaders work for us. Na wache kufikiria we are marginalized. We have the resources in the counties. Why don't we use what we have at least to do something that can help our people? But here we are, marginalized. Donge